My name is Sean Thomas, and I'm the author of Be More Today, a 40-day guide to a better version of you. As doctor of physical therapy, I've seen thousands of people do great things. They came to me with ailments, physical ailments, pain, issues, and they got through them, all because they decided in their mind they were going to do it. And I guarantee you, if you just trust the process and be persistent, you too can be the best version of you.
Welcome to the Be More Today show. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our show today. Now, let's hear it from our host, Dr. Sean Thomas.
What's going on, folks? What's going on, folks? It's your boy again here, Dr. Sean Thomas, back in the building with the Be More Today show. We are back in the building. Folks, we are here for the very last episode of 2025. And I got to say, I am blessed to be able to say to you, I made it. And you too are blessed to say you made it. Just give yourselves a round of applause. Being able to make it to the end of 2025. We did it. We're here. And Be More Today has been all things this year. But before I get into any of those things, let's talk about Be More Today being a movement this year. It was fantastic. We did so many things, folks. And the show continues to grow and be a blessing to so many people with our More merch store, continuing to be on BeMoreToday.com. My first book, Be More Today, which did great this year in conjunction with my second book, Project More, which came out in February, March this year. And if you purchase any book this year, my first book or my second book, I salute you. I thank you. I appreciate it because you don't have to do those things. But if you were a part of the Be More Today family, you read my first book and or my second book, I appreciate you so much. It's been a blessing seeing and hearing the stories of everyone who's read the book, who's made life changes, who lost weight, who increased their physical activity, started drinking more water, starting to get more sleep, all these different things, all based on their readings from the book. So I appreciate you for taking the time to trust this guy over here who is now a two-time author to read his book. I appreciate you. And for the challenges we've done this year, our Steps for Greatness Challenge, now in our fourth challenge for the year. We did 4 challenges this year, and we had over 374 people sign up for challenges this year. And it was great to, again, see that fitness in action, not just talking about it, but really just doing it and being about it. So if you did one challenge, if you took one step, or you did all 4 challenges this year, I salute you. And the challenges will still go on. Our next challenge actually starts tomorrow, which is the first of the year. So if you want to be a part of that challenge, BeMoreToday.com. Look for the Steps of Greatness Challenge. It will be open registration-wise until the 5th of January, but the challenge does start January 1st. Again, 10,000 steps for 40 days. That is the goal. 400,000 steps for the first 40 days of 2025 is the goal. And again, it will inspire you and give you the motivation and discipline you need to keep that momentum going for the rest of this year. So let's kick off 2026 in style with the Steps of Greatness Challenge, which you can find again also at my site, BeMoreToday.com, for all those things. Our Facebook page continues to grow. Our IG continues to grow, BeMoreToday.show, BeMoreToday.pt, and your boy here at Dr. Sean Thomas. The show, again, continues to be on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and on YouTube as well. And we have a lot more listeners on our listening platforms only, but the YouTube has been growing slowly, so I appreciate you guys going on YouTube and checking it out. Now the show now heard in almost over 100 countries, over 78,000 downloads, and I'm just amazed at the growth of the show and very, very thankful for each of you being a part of it. Our sponsors, as always, Spy Belt, Kim and her team, have done an amazing job all year round, continuing to support Be More Today show. And I know Kim was in New York City for the holiday season. You see, I'm in my holiday PJs still, and I've been in PJs for a long time. And I'm not sure if I'm going to be out of PJs ever, but it's been very, very comfortable these last couple of weeks. So I appreciate Kim and her team continuing to support the Be More Today show. As always, it never goes unnoticed, and I appreciate the love and support. Again, the best running belt in the business. I'll be running in Spy Belt all my training regimens for this winter season for the Boston Marathon. So If you're looking for a great running belt, go on their site, spybelt.com, and check out all the belts they have out there for you. You will not be disappointed. It's a great product and the best running belt you will find on the market. Our other sponsor, Jag Physical Therapy, for their love and support as always. Jag has been a near and dear friend to me, not just as an employer, as I do have a full-time job as a director at the Georgetown office in South Brooklyn, but also just supporting everything that I do, from the Be More Today show to our Sunday workout cruise to our Spartan Sunday run club. Just to me in general, they've been a real great support network and support team for me. So to John and the executive team, I salute you guys. I thank you very, very much for being a part of the Be More Today family and continuing to sponsor me and support me in all ways. It does not go unnoticed. And our monthly patrons, you know exactly who you are. Thank you so much for supporting the show all year. I truly appreciate it. Something that you never really have to do. But again, I salute you and give you that kind of love because you deserve it. For those who don't know, I am running the Boston Marathon on April 27th of 2026. April 27th of 2026. And I'm actually running it with a nonprofit called Stride for Stride. Now, for those who don't know, Stride for Stride is a nonprofit running organization that buys race bibs for immigrant, BIPOC, and low-income runners. Our goal, I say our goal because I'm part of this team now, our goal is to make races more accessible and more diverse. And there's no reason why money should prevent you from getting to the starting line, especially when crossing the line could change your life. As some may know, Strive for Stride was launched in November of 2018. And since then, they've grown to a team of over 430 runners from 27 different countries all around the world: Mexico, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, and on and on and on, including India and the US, and me being now part of that team. And in 2025, Stride for Stride launched Mental Health in Stride to provide free mental health therapy to anyone on the team who needs it. It's a great organization. I've had a chance to connect with the founder of the organization, and they will be the guests on the show for next month, or next year, should I say. So happy to have them on the show to talk about Strive for Stride and the great things they're doing across the world. Really looking forward to that for sure. But until then, this is going to be our recap show for today. And I have a number of things I want to share with you as we close out 2025. But our quote for today is simple as always. If you don't take time to celebrate the small wins, the big wins will feel empty and hollow, by Brandon Bouchard. If you don't take time to celebrate the small wins, the big wins will feel empty and hollow. This has been a year, and I always say this has been a year filled with many things. But for me, as we close out 2025, and the theme for this year was being more alive in 25. And I don't know about you, but I did that. I said this year, let me go out there and do some things that I haven't done before. Running in Tokyo was something I had never done before. We did that. Training for another winter marathon was super annoying, but we did that. Writing a book, my second book, which I don't even know how that was even a thought in my mind to write a second book, let alone a first book. But writing a second book and putting that out there again, self-published, we did that. And having a book launch party, we did that. And so many other things, in terms of not just fitness stuff. Professionally, I put myself out there for a position that I created, and waiting to hear back still how that's going to pan out for next year. But hopeful that it will continue to plan out the way that I think it's going to pan out. And I did that. And I just want to say to you, this is a year where this has been a year that a lot of things were just not guaranteed. There were a lot of questions up in the air. There was a lot of uncertainty about a number of things across the country and across the world. Humanity is a very, very funny thing. Sometimes it's amazing, and sometimes it's just like, what are we doing as people? But through all those things, we made it to the end of this year, and we all have been more alive and trying to be more alive in 2025. So I hope you can look back on your year and see some of the small wins that you got also this year. It's not always about hitting the home runs. Sometimes it's just about getting those small wins in. And for many of you, many of us, we get so fixated on the big wins. Oh, I have to run the marathon. I have to get the promotion. I have to do all these different things. I have to lose 10,000 pounds, right? And we focus on those things. And when you don't hit those things, we get discouraged. But there is grace, and there are beautiful things that happen in the small wins. You might not have lost 30 pounds, but you lost 10. You might not have ran the marathon, but you did run a whole bunch of 5Ks and 10Ks. You might not have gotten the big promotion, but you are being noticed by your job, and they are seeing the beauty in what you do and appreciating you for those things. It's the small wins sometimes that we have to really celebrate when the big wins are not always there. I'm not saying not going to be big wins. Those are going to come. You're going to have some days where you say, you know what, I'm going to go out there and crush that marathon. Or you ran a marathon like I ran in Tokyo, right? I went to run Tokyo Marathon, and I trained my hardest ever for it. This time last year, I was preparing to run a 50K, uh, 30 miles, 31 miles, preparing to run it. I was about to go and do the polar plunge, which I'm not doing this year because it is too cold. I'm saying it right now. It's not happening. But last year it was fine. But I was in a different mindset this time last year. I was all about going out there and running in the cold and the sleet and the hail and the snow. Nothing could have stopped me. I was so fixated and so focused. And after I ran Tokyo, when I got sick during the race, I ran Tokyo. I didn't run as well as I wanted to because I ran sick. I was so sick. I mean, I still ran well, but I didn't run as much as well as I should have. For the training that I did, I didn't put out the time that I wanted. Um, but I finished that thing, right? And I got so frustrated and so fixated on, oh, I didn't hit the big win, not even seeing that I put my mind to do something for 5 months. I trained consistently for this thing for 5 months. I traveled around the world with my family to this place to run this thing, which gave me my 5th star and set me up for now to finish Boston for my 6th star. But all these were small wins. And yes, I got the big win still, but I felt empty because the big win didn't feel good enough. It didn't feel big enough. It didn't feel like I had done what I wanted to do. But in essence, I did. And all the small wins are the things that I didn't even really appreciate until months later, being able to be in Tokyo with my family, being able to explore the city and survive the race in my right mind, still healthy, so strong. So many people didn't finish that race because of the heat and dehydration and loss of beverages and water, hydration during the course. But I did with no injuries, no ailments, nothing, walking around just like, okay, well, we did that. Now what? And it's those small wins I'm talking about that sometimes we don't appreciate. We take for granted. So I told myself for 26, I'm going to be a little more cognizant of celebrating the small wins. And the big wins are going to come and appreciating those as well. But there'll be a lot more small wins than big wins. And I hope you too will celebrate the small wins that you had in 2025. Look back over your life. If you did my book, Project More, Be More Today, our starts, our stops, our goals, our steps to greatness, think about what you started doing. Think about what you stopped doing. Think about the goals you have for your life. Did you hit any of those things? Did you even make any headway in those things? If you did, great. Those are small wins, right? Did you do some of those things even for a season, right? Did you do one of the step challenges for the spring or for the fall or for the winter? Great. You didn't have to do all 4, but if you did, fantastic. If you also did one, that's a small win. And appreciate that, celebrate that, give yourselves a round of applause, right? Because it's those small wins that are going to give you the momentum to go out there and hit those big wins, and to be more focused on getting the bigger wins in the future. So I say whatever happens this year as we look towards 2026, stay focused on what you're trying to do, right? And never really get fixated on the things that can easily beset you. But know that the small wins are great things also. And as I look past 25 and on to 26, I want to share the theme for Me More Today for 2026. And that is we're going to nix and fix in 26. And what does that mean? Nix and fix in 26. Look, there's certain things that we're trying to nix or cut out of our lives. You know what they are. We've been talking about these things for a long time. One of the things that I see all the time is that people, when they work out, they love going to work out and doing what they're good at. So cats will go to the gym and they'll work on biceps because they know that they have good biceps, right? Neglecting their triceps or neglecting their legs or their back, whatever else. They work on what they know that they do well, what they know that's easy for them. They'll go and do those things, and they won't fix or fixate on the things they have to work on. We have to nix and fix some things in our lives. And it kind of goes right in line with my Be More Today book about starting and stopping and goals you have for your lives, but just under a different kind of umbrella or different nomenclature. We're about nixing and fixing. So I want you to think this year or this month, even today, as we're on the last day of 2025, what do you want to nix and what do you want to fix in 2026? For me, there are three things I do want to nix out of my life. I want to nix out the spirit of procrastination. You're like, yo, you procrastinate? How's that possible? You're doing 1,000 things. You're always on the move. What do you procrastinate in? And I'll tell you, there are certain times when I'm so focused on what I'm doing that when I have any moment of spare time or any moment where there's nothing scheduled, I go into this rabbit hole of not wanting to do anything. And for me, that's a scary place because it's not focused energy. It's energy that focuses, or it's energy that harps on what I'm not doing well. It actually harps on the lack of big wins. It harps on things that I did in my past that I maybe regret. It harps on decisions that I thought I should have made. It harps on all the things that I've gotten past and I'm trying to move forward from. I harp on those things sometimes. And that's not being more today. That's actually being less. It's being less today because I'm going backwards, I'm not going forward. I'm not appreciating where I'm going. Even when I'm sitting here thinking about the things that I don't have. And, those are the times when I'm like, let me just focus on something else to keep me moving forward. So I want to nix this spirit of not being appreciative of what I have. I have so much. I have so many things. I'm so blessed in so many ways. And I take that for granted sometimes. I want to nix that. I want to fix my physical life right now. Ever since Tokyo, I ran Tokyo, and Tokyo was what it was. It was a race. I was like, let's just get this thing done because I was so sick. And after that, I haven't run since. You haven't seen me at Bedside Flyers. I haven't been doing a number of the races. I've signed up for races and haven't done them. I just have been in a weird kind of funk where I'm like, you know what? I've done the race. I've been running my entire life. How many more medals do I need? How many more shirts do I need? How many more times am I going to run Harlem Hill or some of these races that I've done 1,000 times? So I got into a weird season where I was like, well, I'm not running anymore for a while. And then I got into Boston. And that literally revamped my entire life, because if I had not gotten into Boston, I don't know if I'd be running ever again. But I am here to say on this show for the last time that Boston will be my final marathon and probably my final real race, because I've run so many races my entire life, high school and college and after college, and for the last 15 years with Spartan Sundays, doing Spartan races and road races. Since I see what happens on the latter end with physical therapy and my patients, and knowing my history of knee surgeries and whatever else, I just realized that at some point in time, my distance running is going to have to be curtailed. And what better way than to go out on top with Boston, my 6th star, my final star, completing the Abbott 6 World Majors, which was always a thought, but not really a thought, but became a thought over time. It's a great way to go out on top, especially with a fundraiser for Stride for Stride, and looking forward to just really celebrating all that's been accomplished with running over the last couple of years in Beantown, back in New England, back to Brown University, all those different things. So it will be my final race, but I'm going to fix my body to make sure I'm ready for that. And I feel like a rejuvenation of life. I ran today for the first time in months, and it felt good to be outside. I felt slow, but it felt good to be outside. It felt good to be back out there. I'm not checking my watch. I'm just gonna go out there and follow my plan and intersplice it with my real life, which is work and family, and not get so stressed out and fixated and overwhelmed by not hitting races, not hitting times, but just to actually enjoy the journey, which, sometimes I've lost. I feel like I sometimes get so fixated on, I got to hit this time, I got to do this thing, I got to eat this, I got to do that. And I lose myself in the training. But there is this glorious euphoria that comes with the training, because it's a total transformation of where I am and who I am, especially coming off the holiday season. I mean, I had all the eggnog, I had all the I had all the pie, I had everything, right? So I'm looking forward to getting back into the training of it and taking that seriously. But I also don't want to take my family and my job, put that on the back burner for a race that I'm not getting paid to do. And I think I'm just at a different space in my mind as I look at Father Time. I'm looking at LeBron James and all the other people who are just continuing to elevate. As we get older, find that balance is real for me. And I'm looking forward to doing this race and fixing my body, getting it right, getting it tight, but also trying to make sure that I don't miss smelling the flowers every single day with my family, with my friends, with my job, with my community as I continue to train for this thing. I do want to nix some of the holiday habits that I've gotten accustomed to over the last couple of weeks for Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's, which is, again, all those sweets. Those sweets have to stop. The sweets have to stop. And I'm making some big changes to make sure that I can cut my sugar down, especially as some of you may know, I was pre-diabetic for a while. So make sure I focus on that is going to be a big thing for 2026, nixing the sugar intakes as I continue to fix my body and get my body right. Um, Also nixing some of the erroneous spending that happens in life. We're doing a lot of traveling around the world with these races, from Berlin to Tokyo to um, London. These races add up. Actually, I was entered in for the city marathon. I just didn't go because I was like, look, my bank account is not where it needs to be right now. So I'm trying to buy a house and everything too. So there's something that I have to curtail. So really nixing those things and just really fixating my life, my time on what is most important, which is now just laser focusing on Boston. So I also want to fix my time for me, and whether that means finding more time to read, or finding more time to be in meditation, or just finding more time even during training to do my audiobooks. I kind of got a little bit pulled away from that this year with the book and the book tours and applying to schools for my daughter and all kinds of other things that kind of took precedence over me and the growth that happens, like the self-development that happens. I was putting so much development time into others that I kind of lost that time for myself. So I do want to take a little more time this year, whether getting my CSCS, or which is my strength and conditioning certification, or working on just me in general, reading more books and getting more into the minutia of what I need to be in a better place. Um, this past year was really focused on feeding others with my book and other things, and even workouts. The workout I do now in the morning, and I do a free workout in the morning from 6 to 7 a.m. We're getting so big now that I literally don't even work out anymore. I'm literally just hoping everyone else work out while I'm there, which is great. But I'm losing that time for me to go out there and to make sure I'm doing what I need to do to be where I need to be. So really taking the time to make sure that I'm where I need to be. And again, you can't pour from an empty cup. My cup needs to be full. So I want to make sure my cup is full as I fix those things for me for this year. So those are my nixes and fixes for 2026. And if you have your nixes and fixes, I encourage you to write those things down, whether in the chat or in the show notes, or on your own, in your own notebook, in one of my Be More Today books, or wherever. Write it down so you can see it, so you can remember it. Put it on the wall. Writing the vision is a big thing. Making it plain is a real thing. And I do think that you taking the time to do that will help to give you the momentum and the focus you need to get through 2026 and to consistently make sure you make that thing happen as you move forward. So those are my Nixes and Fixes for you for this year, folks. And for those who are going to be joining us for the challenge, again, BeMoreToday.com. You can sign up for the challenge until January 5th. Hop into that challenge with us. Again, we have medals for the top 3 finishers. If you want to make a team for yourself or your friends, go out there and make a team as well. We'll have some team awards as well for those who want to be part of a team challenge. But just another way for us to keep moving and keep grooving and to stay motivated as we all try to nix and fix things for 2026. So in closing, I just want to say, look, it's been a great year. I appreciate all of you. And my books will be continually on my Be More Today site, BeMoreToday.com. Also on Amazon, if you want to check those books out for the new year. Continue to tell your friends and family about them, or continue to write the review. If you want to write a review about if you read the book already and you are a Project More finisher, what was it like? What got you through the book? What did you learn about yourself? What were some of the keys that got you through the 40 days? And are you continuing to integrate those things into your life moving forward? I would love to hear the stories from more people about what's going on with them and how they're being more today. And as we close out 2025, being more alive, and we segue into the Nix and Fix of 2026, again, I just encourage you to remember the quote from today. If you don't take time to celebrate small wins, the big wins will feel empty and hollow. Let's feel full. Let's feel full this year as we go into a new year. Let's continue to nix those bad things and fix those things in our lives, that when we get to this point next year, wherever you're going to be in life, they can say, at least you tried. At least you had some small wins. At least you built upon those things brick by brick. At least you took the time to go out there and make sure that you celebrated the small wins and even the big wins as they come along. And in closing, I just want to just take a moment of silence for my Brown University family. I know you probably heard in the news that there was a shooting at Brown University a couple weeks ago, and 2 students were murdered and 9 others were injured, which are all now out of critical condition. I just want to have a moment of silence for the 2 students who did pass away. One a sophomore, one a freshman. And crazy enough, so I did triple jump at Brown, and one of the triple jumpers on the team right now, Joe, is the TA who was in the class when that shooter came into Barris and Holly. So he was the one who was explaining what happened. And so I reached out to him just to kind of give him my Brown love. And we talked and we chatted on IG a little bit. Great kid, and just happy he's okay and happy others are okay, but very, very sad for the tragedy that happened in what seemed like the safest place in the world. The safest place in the world. And I just want to make a charge to each of you as we close out this year, just to be better humans. Being More Today is all about fitness and it's about health and wellness. Yes, those are great, but it doesn't matter if you can't live it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even make a difference if we're not alive, right? If we're not going to treat each other well in that wellness, in that health, if we're not going to be able to sustain that and to be able to even be alive to see another day, to live and try to get 10,000 steps or whatever we're trying to do, what's the point if we're going to continue to break each other down and divide each other without love being at the crux of every situation. So I just want to take a moment of silence for the Brown University students and for Brown University as a whole, because again, that was and continues to be a place that I love so dearly. And seeing the videos and the people online and all the things that have been happening, it breaks my heart. But I'm very, very grateful that Brown is bouncing back, praying for Ella's family and Muhammad Aziz's family as well. the two students whose lives were taken, and the professor at MIT whose life was taken also. Praying for all of them during this time. So let's just take a moment of silence for them as we close out 2026, 2025. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you so much. And just know that this show, as we are going to be entering another season, our 7th season of the Be More Today show, believe it or not, I'm looking forward to what's next and what's in store for us. But I salute all of you. Happy New Year. I hope you had a great holiday. And I will see you on the other side as we enter 2026, as we nix and fix all that we can in 2026. Until then, have a good day. Have a great night. To continue, take your steps to greatness to be the best version of you. Happy New Year, folks. I'll see you next time. Peace.